Ready, yeah? Okay, I'm ready. It's been a while. It's actually been too long.
You nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. It's just...
You got that on record.
It is on record. Right. Welcome back to the Bootroom Podcast. Today is very special. Our second FIFA licensed agent is joining us. But Harry Hennings, welcome back.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a while, wasn't it?
Bit too long.
Bit too long, but we're back. That's
Yes,
the main thing.
Of course. Andreas, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
No worries. So obviously, you have quite an interesting career. It's only just starting in the football agent side of things. Chelsea fan. We're going to speak about your personal life as well. So could you start us off then with your earliest days playing football? You must have played football when you were younger.
Yeah, I was never great at playing football, to be honest. I was always one of the players that... So my dad managed the team, and I was never really a starting player, but it was never really a case of I wanted to be that starting player. But like the night before, I'd always be coming up with different team sheets and stuff like that. Since I was like the age of 9, like I knew I weren't always good enough to start. So I enjoyed coaching and stuff like that, and more Sunday league was to play with my friends. So I played Sunday league till maybe I was like 16, and then I looked into coaching from there. So I was never a footballer.
No, it sounds familiar.
It does,
Right.
yeah. And I feel like at our sort of age, we have to accept the fact we probably won't make it pro. But I still play Sunday League. It's my last year, but I do it because I enjoy it and because it also keeps me active as well. But obviously, growing up, you must have just wanted to keep going because you just had that desire to just play because that's what the game's all about.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Do you know what it is for me? I feel as if when I got to the point 15, 16, when people do start to take it a bit more serious, you know, no disrespect to you and the coach's son, but the coach's son often takes that control. So I suppose for you, although you were young at that time, how did you sort of navigate that? Because you said you were playing with your friends, but if the coach's son is always starting week in, week out, and there's a bit of like situation.
I didn't really care, to be honest, because the whole time playing football was just my mates, and I knew I wasn't going to start. To be honest, sometimes I preferred to come off the bench. So I never took it seriously. It was always just fun. And then obviously me and my dad would do the team sheets the night before, and I wouldn't even start myself because I was always more interested in coaching and like tactics and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I started getting into coaching initially, from 16 to 19, I'd say. For 3 years I'd done coaching.
I have to say, the night before we had a cup final, I did write out our best lineup on the whiteboard
Have
at
you
home.
done it?
I put myself in it,
Put yourself in it?
Only because I feel like in big games, you have to back yourself and you have to have that mentality that you are good enough to go out there and make a difference.
And you were the top scorer as well.
I was.
Were you a striker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, unfortunately, we did lose a final. But I'm very much with you on that point of I like to sort of see how I would coach it myself as well, because I'm interested in coaching, not to the extent of going on to do it as a profession, but I'm sure you'd agree with that as well, that we're both heavily interested in it.
Yeah, for sure. I like the coaching side of things as well. I'm pretty interested.
Football as well?
Yeah, I did, but then I got injured a bit, so that's why I'm not going to make it to the top level.
If you
but
guess your position,
yeah,
how tall are you?
6'2" and a bit.
Centre back.
No, I'm actually a striker.
You're a striker as well.
Yeah.
We're both on the same team.
No,
Unfortunately,
no,
not.
we wish.
I feel like if we were on the same team, it'd be pretty lethal.
So what was your position?
What do you reckon?
Winger.
I had 2 different
Centre mid.
positions.
I'd probably
Yeah,
say.
both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Centre mid or winger.
We could tell because you just got the look of a winger.
Yeah.
What sort of winger were you?
Oh, well, I weren't very good, was I? So I just really ran. I just got the ball and just ran with it. I was quite fast, so I just ran.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is about wingers nowadays.
Yeah.
If you're
Just run
quick,
with
you're a
it.
winger. Or
Yeah.
if you're quick, you're a fullback. If you're slow, you're a centre back.
I was on the wing a
Most
few
of the
times.
time. Really?
Not very fast.
I didn't mind sitting in front of the centre backs as a 6. I didn't mind doing that, to be fair.
Yeah.
I do feel maybe this comes into your coaching side is when you are a player that does start higher up the pitch and you get dropped back to midfield, and then maybe in one game the gaffer might say drop into the number 6. As a coach, how do you sort of tell the player to do that? Because it is such a strange role going from you're the leading man to now you're holding the line.
All depends on the player, really. Obviously, with Rooney, when he was a striker and then he dropped back to midfield, I think that sort of cases he was slowing down and he got brought back into the middle to like hold the ball up and stuff like that. But I think at the level of Sunday League, it doesn't really matter, does it, in terms of telling a player to come down to centre mid? You just do as you're told.
Yeah,
when
you
it comes
do.
to professional, it's a bit different because it's tactical on the player.
You'd be surprised. I think there's a lot of coaches out there who probably think they are Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, probably.
There's plenty I've experienced as well. Yeah. With the mini whiteboards and the tactics.
What, in Sunday League,
sidelines.
Sunday
Oh,
League?
yes,
Have you never had that?
No.
Really?
No.
At Sunday League, my only experience is being sworn at by the coach when I was like 11.
That's valid, I guess. Coaching.
Yeah, but at 11-year-olds maybe not. And then obviously the coaching side of things when you had the whiteboard, you're right.
Yeah.
And what do they often tell you?
Well, it's not my manager that has a whiteboard, it's opposition managers, but I feel like it's just a bit over the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, 4-0 down and you get out the whiteboard for the last 10
if
minutes.
it's men's football and they're getting paid for it and it's like a side hustle, then I get it.
Yeah.
But not what, under 18 Sunday League, 11 aside,
exactly.
it's a bit stupid.
Yeah.
So when did you become a Chelsea fan?
My first game was against Watford, actually. We won 5-0 in the FA Cup.
You seem to be quite the Watford guy.
Well, I'm from Watford.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we won 5-0 in the FA Cup. And my dad took me in 2009, I think. Yeah, that was the first time.
Who was your sort of idol growing up then, in a Chelsea shirt?
Eden Hazard.
I thought you might say that.
Love-
That's
why do
quite a
you reckon?
popular one.
Yeah.
Well, because everyone loves Hazard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to ask you a question now. Salah, who's got the better legacy in the Premier League, Salah or Hazard?
Salah.
And you'd admit that as a Chelsea fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
From
I
what
do
Salah's
think-
done for the last few years since Hazard's been gone, done nothing at Real Madrid, then obviously retired, you got to say Salah. Unfortunately, I don't think it's even a question now. I wouldn't say that's even a question.
I
Salah
would
or
agree.
Hazard.
What do you make of him this season?
Salah?
Yeah.
He's getting older. He
Yeah.
hasn't got Trent behind him now either. They played together for how many years?
Six?
Six,
Yeah.
7 years.
About that, yeah.
Now it's a different defender.
6, 7, no?
That's a
My
different defender.
word.
That's a different defender. You got Frimpong, who's not always starting, so that's rotating. You got Szoboszlai there as well, so they're not used to it. And at the end of the day, he's getting older. He's not going to keep up that form the whole time. I feel like any Liverpool fan who's slating Salah. I was listening to Talk Sport. You're slating Salah.
Yeah.
Massively, yeah.
I was listening on Talk Sport. People were saying, "Oh, we should have kept Mane instead of Salah." To that, I just go, "Shut up."
No, I
I mean,
get it.
Mane was fantastic, wasn't he? But
But you're talking about bringing back a player who you got rid of 4 years ago. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
No.
I think with Salah, he should have gone to Saudi Arabia.
No.
You think he should still be at Liverpool?
Yeah. I think Salah's the biggest Liverpool legend of all time. I think he's bigger than Gerrard. If Gerrard wasn't from Liverpool, everyone would say Salah, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, I think Salah's a tremendous player, but I think this season has been a big letdown, especially when, they speak about the Ballon d'Or and if you have a good attitude.
Yeah.
I don't think Salah's got a great attitude.
No.
Do you think or not?
I'd say he's got an ego. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he's got an ego.
Wouldn't we all though?
Exactly.
that's the thing.
If
A
I'm scoring
a player
hat-tricks
of that
every week.
level, you would sort of have
Yeah.
that ego.
Well, he was on the bench against Galatasaray, wasn't he? In the
Yes, he
Champions
was,
League.
yeah.
See how insulted he was being on the bench?
Yeah. Yeah, because when he came in, I think when he's finished his warm-up, he came over to the bench and his face was just like
In a
full
way,
of
I
thunder.
kind of like that. It's like, I am the best player. I'm insulted. You're not starting me. It should be good. He wants to start every week. Because you've got some
Yeah.
players with bad attitudes who don't want to play.
Yeah, I
If
get that.
if he doesn't want to play, or if he gets taken off in even, the 85th minute, he's fuming about it. So,
As a manager, how would you sort of inform the player that they won't be starting, but a player of that sort of magnitude?
As a manager?
As a manager.
that's why I'm not a manager, I don't know.
But to be fair though, I think that this season, Chelsea are going to be in for a good season. I think they have already started quite well. I think, obviously we're going to speak about you and your career, but we're just getting sidetracked with the Prem. But I think this season, Chelsea are under absolutely no pressure.
I'd argue that.
Really?
All the money we've spent, there's got to be pressure. The biggest spenders in the Premier League over the last 3 years, I think it's hitting 2 billion now.
For Chelsea.
I think it's something like that since Todd Bowley came in.
But the thing is, if you look at who Chelsea bought, they were spending £20 million on a keeper from Genk. There's obviously two. You were spending 20 million, 30 million, 40 on players that we hadn't really heard of.
No.
So I think that this season is really vital for Maresca to just get his team correct. On the back of winning, I want to say 2, but it was the Conference League.
Yeah.
Just the Conference League.
Club
and the
World
club,
Cup,
yeah,
Club
and
World
that as
Cup
well.
in the middle.
And I feel like this season it's been really cool to see them gel as a team. You haven't signed anyone too major, so I
No.
think. And what about Madueke? Happy he went?
I'm not really too bothered, to be fair. I'm honestly not. I didn't really see the hate. We bought him for just as much as we sold him for, I think, if I'm not wrong, or maybe like 10 million difference. He was all right for Chelsea. He wasn't amazing. I don't think he was bad. I don't know. I'm not really too bothered. He's gone to Arsenal, to
Yeah.
be fair. I'm not bothered.
But he was one of those players where when he got on the ball, I genuinely, and he cut in on his left, I think something will happen.
I just don't think he scores enough.
No, he didn't score
No.
enough. But then he had that weird spell, the hat-trick away at Wolves. And,
I went to
he
that.
thought-
I think he got.
Did
Did he get 4?
It might have been 4.
I think it was
a
4.
hat-trick?
I think it was 4.
Hat-trick or 4, yeah.
He put on his Instagram story how
Yeah.
much of a horrible place Wolves is. And then he scores a hat trick.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Do you know what I love though? I think that this season has been really good to see how teams have dipped and come up. Obviously, Liverpool's drop this season hasn't been good to watch, but obviously from a neutral's perspective, it has been Sunderland's rise. But I also think that Arsenal are perhaps getting themselves into that hole of signing Madueke and signing those players that perhaps aren't at that elite level to challenge for a Premier League. Would you say that's correct?
I have a bad feeling Arsenal will win the league this season.
So do I.
Me too.
Because obviously, I don't think Chelsea will win it. I think they're out of the equation. City potentially, but I can't see it. Liverpool, they've dropped off. Sunderland aren't going to win it. A team like that who's still challenging up there, but yeah, I think Arsenal are going to win it, and I'm not too happy about that.
Not
as a
Spurs,
Chelsea
no?
fan. No, they're not in the equation either.
To be fair though, I often think that this season, the last thing about this season is where do you want Chelsea to finish? Obviously, you want it to finish first, but in all competitions, what is the most important competition this season for Chelsea?
Champions League.
You think you could win it?
Chelsea's a team where we might do terrible within the league or cups or whatever, and then we'll just come out winning the Champions League. Stuff like that always happens. We'll have a bad season and we'll still win something. Chelsea are a club which will always win something. So if we won the Champions League this season, it really wouldn't surprise me.
I suppose the same with Spurs last year, 17th in the league, but won the
Yeah.
Europa League. But
Yeah, but
obviously
they
that
should
was a
never have- they should
appalling
never have been
season for us.
17th,
No,
yeah.
no, I mean,
No.
no, it was horror.
Your first proper job that we want to speak about is your tourism, and you're going abroad. How did you get that job?
It was just after COVID, and you see the TV shows are like the reps abroad and stuff like that. It's nothing like that at all. It's not. And I went out of a company, and the company was a complete scam. We arrived, and it was a scam. So I made a video to basically say it's a scam of a company, and the video got loads of views. And then I just started making a couple videos when I was out there. I didn't post too much, and then another company said, would you like a job like selling packages to work abroad? So I was like, yeah, sweet. Then I started posting from there in 2022, doing the interviews at the events and stuff like that. Then after that, another company picked me up. And then after that, another company picked me up. So it's kind of gone like 1, 2, 3 to the better companies. I don't know. I just went out there for fun, and then it kind of turned into a job. Just turned into a full-time job, really, interviewing people at the events and selling packages and stuff like that.
Sounds good though, right?
Yeah, sounds fun.
We were saying actually the idea of being like a holiday rep at like an all-inclusive hotel does sound quite exciting, because it's like a different life, isn't it? Like you're sort of chained to the resort, but you've got so many different things you can do, activities and stuff. So what countries did you?
So I was based in Ayia Napa. So I'm from. Well, my dad's from Cyprus, so I picked Ayia Napa to go to because obviously I'm familiar with the country. And then just from there, I was meant to go to Zante, meant to go to Malia, but every year in Napa, I just got more known out there doing the job. So it was just easier every single year. So I thought I might as well just stick to this one place and be like known in that sort of place. That's why I picked Napa.
Sure. And what was it like to be out there? Did you ever get bored of it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's so repetitive in the end.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What side got boring?
Just everything about it. Just waking up every day and just feeling awful because you're not going to bed till like 3, 4 in the morning. Or I didn't drink every night, but if you're going to drink, you're feeling hungover. Like the accommodation isn't great. Just everything about it just became boring and repetitive and just like, that sort of feeling. It's just like, I've got to go to an event and interview these girls today. Like, can't be arsed.
What was the wake-up time? You say you're going to bed at 4. Did you have to be up at 7 or 8, or was it a little bit more relaxed?
Well, nothing really happens out there till like 1 p.m, I would say.
Oh,
okay.
So I feel like even that sort of pattern of going to sleep at 3, waking up at 1, is just not great.
Not at all.
It's not great.
Even
at all.
in that cycle, you'd feel like if I woke up at 1, the day is gone.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But what happens at 1? Lunch? Is that their breakfast at 1?
Yeah, so you go for breakfast at 1. I'd say first year, second year, third year, I loved it. It was great. Fourth year, it was a bit like, it's a bit long, this one. Because my best mate, who I was out there with at the time, we used to always go together and stuff like that. And then he stopped going. So the fourth year, I was more on my own. It was like, I can't really be bothered to keep on doing this. Then the fifth year, I didn't go out for a season, but they asked me to go out on 2 separate trips of 2 weeks. So then at that point, obviously, I really didn't want to go. So they were like, just do these trips instead. So I've done it, obviously. Done the videos, done the packages and stuff like that.
And how did that pan out?
Yeah, it was good. I'm really good at selling packages. I think I got the highest amount of packages out of all the teams sold.
Oh, wow.
I've done that for like 3 years in a row. Like, that's my forte of doing that. And no, it was all right, because at the end of the day, within a 2-week schedule, you kind of got everything planned of what you're doing. And I didn't even stay at Napa my 5th year. I got a flat about 15 minutes away, and I had a car. I was just driving back and forth. So the 5th year, I just kind of treated it like I was at home just working as normal. So I'd say technically I've done 4 years out there, realistically. 4 seasons I've done.
I feel like after 4 years, you would sort of treat it as like day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Day-to-day job, yeah.
Like a 5th year of doing that sort of. I mean, you mentioned it's repetitive, which I imagine it would be.
But the food out there must be quite good. Healthy.
Wait, Napa?
No, is it not?
No way.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a tourist place for like 18, 19, 20-year-olds on a cheap holiday.
Kebabs.
Yeah. Gyros.
What's your favourite food in Napa?
Favourite food in Napa? I'll probably go up the bougie bits of Missy Harbour and go to the nice restaurants.
What is your favourite dish in there?
I like the meat platters. I like the mezes out there.
Oh,
the mezes are really nice. It's like 10 different dishes that get brought out, like little plates. It's like little plates of food.
That's like the Greek equivalent of tapas then, sort of.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like tapas is more cold food though, isn't it?
It is. It varies.
depends.
I think it's very, very even, to be fair.
Yeah. What's your favourite food from that side of the world, like Greece?
I mean, halloumi cheese is brilliant.
Yeah, a bit of pita and hummus.
Pita and hummus is good. I like moussaka as well.
What's better?
That's why you know about that.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah.
What's better, hummus or feta?
I actually don't like feta at all.
I don't like
so
feta.
Do you mean
hummus.
halloumi?
Yeah, that's what I mean. What did I say?
Hummus.
Oh, halloumi.
Do you prefer a dip or a cheese?
No, do you prefer...
Halloumi for me.
Yeah, halloumi. What about you?
Halloumi.
Yeah, I just can't stand feta.
It's brilliant.
We're really getting sidetracked here. But look, this is the whole point about your tourism side. So you were out there, you said you were interviewing girls. So is that the whole point, to sell a package on social media as well as in person? on social media?
I was never actually selling it in person because I didn't actually need to. So at the time when I was kind of like known in Iron Appa, which I'm not now because I've stopped posting about it, and a lot of the interviews on there I've actually taken down off my profile now. So kind of gone off the grid in terms of that. But it was a case of like I was just going out there asking mad questions to different girls at the events, and obviously you can see the backdrop of the events, and I was hitting millions of views. Like everyone out there was watching these videos, everyone going was watching. They said, "Oh, this event looks really good. I'm going to buy a package." The company he works for, I'm going to buy separate tickets. Just go on my affiliate link, buy the package, and the commission just gets sent my way.
Wow.
I know.
That's
Well, they do that on Amazon.
But they do.
Yeah.
How much of a difference do you think there would have been if you hadn't documented any of this online and you literally just kept yourself
What,
done
a
it in person?
normal ticket seller?
Yeah, but like obviously advertised nothing online. You just kept
So
it
like a
down
normal
to
street
you.
ticket seller like
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as much, but then you have like 2 or 3 every year really good solid ticket sellers who work maybe 16 hours a day just going up and down the street selling, and I'd say they can hit up to 80 grand a year. Well, not even a year, for the summer.
Wow.
For me personally, I don't really have the charisma or personality to do that and keep going up and down. I'll get fed up of chatting to people.
I think I would as well,
after
to
like
be fair.
5 hours, I'm like, come on, mate, just buy. Are you gonna buy it or not? Do you know what I mean? But some people just spend the whole 4 months out there every day, up and down, up and down. They ain't
16
got to work
hours
the
a
rest of
day.
the year.
It sounds like you got quite aggravated at your time there in some aspects. So what sort of umming and ahhing would they be doing if they didn't want to quite buy a ticket? What would they be telling you?
I don't know, because I didn't sell in person. It was
Right.
it was always online. So if I was messaging people, the one where no one will ever buy it if they say, "I'll think about it."
Yeah, that's.
I'll think. Oh, do you do that?
He does that.
You do
Sometimes,
that?
yeah.
Just tell him straight. You're gonna buy it or not.
I suppose so. Maybe that's a bit of advice just to take on board.
Yeah, me?
Yeah, don't
No,
say.
no,
I'll,
you.
just don't say. I'll think about it. Just say, "No, I'm all good, thank you."
So with the packaging, it is like they are sort of planning their holiday around this package.
Yeah, essentially. So I still work for Party Hard now, behind the scenes more. You ever heard of Party Hard at all?
I don't think
A few I have, yeah.
So they're the #1 tourist package in the whole of Europe. So they've got around 11 different events. So with that, the package starts off, I believe, £105 for a week of events, and then close to summer, it's about 130 or something like that. And it's all planned for you. So you buy this package, and then you've got an itinerary of what you're doing every single day. So yeah, it's just easy, isn't it? If you're going somewhere and you want the best events and the best packages and stuff, you just purchase it for 130
Makes
quid.
sense.
Because if you bought everything separately, it'd be about 400 quid.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's a massive difference.
Yeah.
A boat party is 60 quid on its own. A whole package is 125 or something like that.
And
makes
what other
sense.
sort of events do they have aside from a boat party?
Like pool parties, rooftop, club nights. Yeah,
Wow.
I'd say.
So in hindsight, then that's actually quite good value for money. Then.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely,
If you're young, going on your first boys' holiday, Napa's somewhere I'd definitely recommend. I'm sick of the place now, but I'd still recommend it to anyone. I would still recommend it.
so going back to what you said earlier, you said that you were interviewing girls. Did you ever interview guys as well? Right?
No.
No. Okay.
I was single and the girls got views.
Exactly that. So what sort of questions were you asking them to get the views, right? Because it's all centres
I
around
don't even
that.
know if I can even say it on here.
Oh, you
really.
can.
I can?
Yeah.
It was just mad questions like wine and dine or beat and delete. Like how many shots to smash. Tell me something your mum don't know. Tell me something your dad don't know. But something I must say. So me and Katie, who used to run Zanti Bible, we were the first people doing this. And that was running that sort of scene on social media. And now every single person who has a mic goes up to people outside of a club. Tell me something your mum doesn't know. And it's just boring now. It's just been rinsed. So when you see people do it now, it's kind of just cringeworthy. When back then, a couple of years ago, that was the hot topic of the party scene, is the interviews at all the events. But it's been rinsed and stuff now. So I think if they even wanted me to do those sort of questions, one, I wouldn't, because I'm older, I'm in the football scene, I've got a girlfriend, but also because I think it's just a bit cringy now. Tell me something your mum don't know. Tell me something your dad don't know. And it's the cliche answers. I shagged your best mate. they just chat.
Moved on from that. Like, I think it's better to have your own niche question to ask.
Yeah, well, that's why I've privated all my videos now that are crazy, because I'm older. You know what I mean? I'm older now. I'm looking after young players that are under 18. You have meetings with different parents. You need to put that serious card on. And I'm not like how I was a few years ago when I was proud of doing that sort of stuff and I was running around happy doing it. Now I just think, right, football's the main priority now, while I'm still working a party hard as my job.
I suppose, though, as you obviously move on more involved in football, there are going to be those younger people that are then be getting to your age when you used to do it. So there's going to be a repetitive cycle of as soon as people move on, there's people there to take on.
Oh, 100%, 100%, yeah, definitely. I'd 100% recommend it as a holiday. I'm just saying, in terms of the cliche interviews, it's just rinse now. But it's still a packed resort. It's still really good. All the events are still good, and everyone still goes. Last year, it was, I think, out of the Party Hard package, it was the #1 sold resort out of all 11 of the resorts they have. So that be Ibiza, Zante, Maga, Malia, all the places. Napa was number 1 in terms of the packages.
Wow. I mean, some of those people on the camera though who are saying some of the things that their mum or dad doesn't know.
I know.
That's insane.
I just wouldn't. I'd just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. No.
How would you go up to them? Sorry to interrupt, but how would you go up to them and say, do you want to be on camera?
You just say, do you want to get in a video? And at the time, they all know who you are. They know you're doing the videos. They know they're going to get views. They're like, yeah, I'll do it. But then obviously I was doing interviews at Party Hard this year, and they're all more like mellowed, lowered down sort of questions, because as a company, they don't want that sort of questions on their platform. It was another company I was working for who don't even exist anymore, by the way. So.
Oh, really?
No, they don't even exist. So with Party Hard, it was more just questions like, who's your celebrity crush? What's your biggest ick? What's your favourite thing on the Party Hard event package? Like different questions about each other for the group and stuff like that. It was more nicer sort of questions. Obviously, it gets less views, but it's more credible, I think, more creditable.
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Yeah. Did you ever get people asking you like directly to be in videos? Like
all the time.
Yeah,
all
really?
the time. Yeah, but this time when I went, I wasn't really known because I stopped doing videos by then. And I was more just a Party Hard staff member, which I was quite pleased about in a way. Just a staff member, just a standard staff member.
Yeah. So then one day you decided to become a football agent.
Yeah.
Overnight or?
It was overnight, to be fair.
Yeah.
It actually was. So my 4th year in Napa, there was a boy who's now playing in Romania called Bogdan Marian. And he was at Watford at the time. And he got released from Watford. He was playing non-league football, I think. And he said, would you be able to help me get to Cyprus? Anyway, I was helping him. I was going to all these different teams. And it's such a small country. It's so easy to get in contact with people. And at the time, I thought, it's actually really fun. I'm enjoying doing this. And he's now playing in the 1st division in Romania. But then from then, I just started looking into it. And at this point, I was trying to get out of the Iron Napa stuff, doing it permanently. So I said to my girlfriend and my mum, I think I want to drop out of uni after my 2nd year. I've got a diploma, so I still got something, and try and be a football agent. And they were like, well, I don't know if you should drop out of uni. Anyway, I did. It took me a year to study for it. But if you're sidetracking back to in Napa, I have a lot of VIP footballers, like the youngsters, under 21s, PL2 sort of players. So I'm in and around them. And I find speaking to them so interesting. Just talking about football in general, life off the pitch, speaking about their agent. So I said to them, what do you think about me potentially trying to be an agent? Just go for it. So it's kind of the influence of the footballers that I was working with as well. I was looking after Liverpool players, Chelsea, Forest, Tottenham, Arsenal. There was loads of them. I've got to say, the best group out of the lot was the Tottenham under-21 boys.
Really?
They were so nice. Yeah.
No, Mikey Moore wouldn't have been there.
No, Mikey Moore would have been about 10.
He'd have been too young. he was out in Cyprus at the time, though, with the under-17s Euros he was playing.
Oh.
He's playing in the 17s Euros, but it was other players who are in PL2 now. A couple of them were in League 1 now, League 2, Scottish Premier League on loan.
Are there any specific names of the Spurs players that you...
I don't know if they'd want me to say on here.
Oh, okay,
because obviously
fine.
they went to Napa. I don't know if... I've got pictures. If you went on my Insta, obviously you'd see pictures of them, but I don't know if they'd want me to actually say it.
Yeah, no worries.
So they must have had a great time.
I imagine they did, yeah.
They did.
So in terms of you waking up one morning and deciding that you do want to go ahead and become an agent, you've obviously got to do the exam, and then once you've done the exam, it's sort of like a free-for-all in a way.
Yeah, it is a free-for-all. Once you pass the exam, it's like you just enter the lion's den of this is serious now. There's no more interviewing these girls. You're in like you're in a man's world. You're in a man's business of people who's been in this industry for 30 plus years. I believe now I think statistically there's now 10,900 FIFA licensed agents. Wow. And that's the licensed one. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes with unlicensed ones. And then I think in England, out of the 10,900, there's something like 5,300. That's ridiculous.
Big numbers.
Yeah.
But England alone.
Yeah, in the EFL, I was looking at this last night. I think in the EFL, there's only 2,300 players. So there's double the amount. There's double the amount of agents in England than there is EFL players.
That's insane.
That's mad.
So that's from Championship to League 2. Any player on a pro. So that could be under 21 players on a pro as well.
Yeah. Could be.
It's honestly it's a mental industry to really be in.
Not that I want to jump ahead, but I just quickly wanted to ask. So, do you have yourself a specific standard of player? Because you could go all the way down to step 5, step 6. Do you ever go that low? Would you ever go that low?
I don't think I'll go as low as that. There's a boy currently I'm working with in step 4, and I would never really go into step 4 unless they were a youngster playing men's football. So he's 18, and he's been playing men's football since he was 16, and they just got relegated from step 3 recently. And he lives quite local to where I'm from. So I met up with him, I spoke to him, and what he's saying is if he doesn't go pro within the next year, he's going to go to uni. I don't know if that's going to be in England or America, and he's just given this 1 year to go pro. And I said, okay, I'll help you with that. There's only so much an agent can do. At the end of the day, it's down to the player. So I've sent him to a showcase event in London. I've sent 3 scouts down to watch him from the EFL, from 2 League One, 1 Championship for the academy. So the opportunities are there for him. The opportunities are there in step 4 and step 3. It's just whether the agent can actually be bothered, because if you're looking after massive players, like, I don't know, let's say Premier League players, are you really going to drop into step 4? Probably not. So people like me, potentially, if they have the connections to help. But I've said to him, I can only do so much. It's down to you now to actually perform and get to an academy. So yeah, but I wouldn't do that often, not often.
So would you say it's only like sort of like agents that are fresh out of it that would go down that low? Because obviously you wouldn't have a Premier League agent, as you said, dropping down. So do you think it's ones that are just getting into it that would go down that low?
I think some agents get them for the sake of it, just to add to their roster, saying, I've got 15 players. What league are they playing? Like step 6.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect to any step 6 player at all, but I would only get the ones that are young from step 4 onwards, because you never know. Sometimes you see the crazy stories of players in their early 20s going from step 6 to Championship.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens, to be honest. It is crazy, but fair play to them. But yeah, I feel like people get their license and they'll get a lot of non-league players from very low non-league just to add to the roster. Any people that take money off the players in non-league, that's disgusting, I think. Some people take money off them. You can't do that.
Non-league, but you're classing as anything below step, the National League, North and South?
I wouldn't take any money even off a National League player.
Really?
No.
Well, I was going to ask you that, because in your live streams, you often get, you're in this for the money. So how would you come out with that and say, actually, no, I'm not? What do you say?
Well, there's different ways you can obviously earn money from it. If you have players who are an asset to another agency, I suppose you can take them to an agency, and the agency will then give you a job as you're bringing them as an asset. You can negotiate with a club to get different fees. If a player is on a decent amount of money, you're going to take money off them. But if a player is on, let's say, 30 grand a year, and he's young, it's his first pro contract, or he's a non-league player, and you're going to try and, the maximum you can take off a player on 30 grand, for example, is 5%. Are you really going to take 5% of his wage? What is the point? Try and get him to a better club. Work with him before start saying, I'm taking money off you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's also a case of, if you're speaking to a player, right, I'm going to take 5% off you. Speaks to another agent, I'm not taking anything off you until your second pro contract. Who are they going to go with? They're not going to go with someone who's going to be taking money off them. They're going to take someone who's going to help them develop as a player and move up the football pyramid.
Could that damage the relationship between an agent and a footballer if you straight away try and get in there for the money?
I don't think it would damage it. I think it would just be, in other words, like, see you later. Like,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of agents out there.
it's too many.
Well, that's the thing. If one goes, there's plenty lined up to come in and step in.
Oh, I know. But you're speaking to different parents. You're going to their games and stuff, and they're chatting to 5 or 6 different agencies.
Yeah.
Do you not feel like parents can get quite ahead of themselves sometimes, especially in Premier League academies, Championship, League 1, League 2, where they obviously think their kid's going to become the next big thing, and the mums, dads, they're like, oh, this agent. It can get into the kid's head sometimes.
Yeah, of course, I'm not going to slag off any of the parents, because at the end of the day, I still want to keep a good relationship with them. But I feel like a lot of the time you just got to be calm, respectful. At the end of the day, it's their decision. They're the parent, they're the guardian, it's their kid who's the footballer. And if they make the wrong decisions, then that's on them. If they make the right decisions, then perfect. I believe Lewis Skelly's mum is now an agent. I think she's a licensed agent and she looks after him.
Okay.
And she's trying to encourage a lot more parents to get the license and be an agent for the kid.
Doesn't do you any help though.
Nah,
Yeah.
it doesn't. But for me personally, it's kind of hit and miss in terms of the parent being the agent, because that can maybe ruin the relationship with the child, or they can make them the next best thing. It's kind of hit and miss, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a grey area of parents being the child's agent.
I think
I'd agree. Yeah, there was a program on, I think, a year or two ago, and it was about Crystal Palace's academy, and they had all like the rising stars, and all of the parents as well. But the one thing I noticed from that was they all found it difficult to accept the fact that some of them might not go pro.
Yeah.
And obviously, all you would hear from when they're sat at home is agents, contracts, wages, money. And like you said before, it does get in their heads. Some won't admit it, but they obviously, as a young footballer, you just want to play, you just want to enjoy it and work hard.
Yeah. Well, when a player's with a big agency, if you're at Chelsea, for example, and you're with one of the biggest agencies, and then let's say you get released and you drop into maybe step 2, a lot of the time the agent just stops helping them. They become a free agent. They have no guidance. They're wanting help, but the agency just kind of cuts ties with them. So I was speaking to a player. He's in step 2 now, and he was with a very big agency. And when he left the EFL club he was with, he just stopped speaking to the agent, and then he found out through someone else he's no longer with that agent. So it's kind of a shame in terms of that, but that's another thing, isn't it? It's hit and miss. At the end of the day, it's a business. It's a brutal business, but then there's still the human aspect of just helping the player, or maybe thinking, I'm no longer going to help you, but I know a smaller agent who might be able to. I'm going to pass you down to him instead of just cutting ties completely. I see both sides, but I don't think you should just cut someone off because they're what some people would call failing in their career.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What I wanted to say is obviously you specify, I don't know what the word is, Eastern European football, I'd say. Cyprus, you've helped people out from Romania. But what I wanted to ask though, before we got onto that, was your whole content creation side of the football world.
Yeah.
So you were documenting your journey into the football agent scene, and obviously you did fail your exam first time. But what was it like? Why did you decide to go on social media and promote your content and promote you going into the agency world?
I don't really know. I feel like because I have a couple of hundred followers on TikTok on my other account, and then I thought I'm moving into a different thing. Maybe, in all honesty, I thought it'd be easier than what it was. That's what I thought initially. So I was posting videos and stuff like that. In a way, it's kind of helped me because Jalil Sadi, who's now in Cyprus, his agent got in contact with me from watching my videos, seeing I had connections in Cyprus, and said, is there any possibility to bring him to Cyprus on a season-long loan? And then from then, the agent's kind of been my mentor. So I don't work for him full-time as like a set job, but he's my mentor in terms of he helps me. I advertise his agency when I'm speaking to different players and stuff like that. So in a way, it's kind of helped me. Of course, there's some people who are that's old school and see, look at this youngster trying to make videos about being an agent when he's not signing all these players, blah, blah, blah. But I see it as a positive of I'm promoting myself and putting myself out there. I try not to post too much because I'm not going to take the piss, make myself look an idiot or make myself seem like young or immature. So every now and again, if it's something big that I'm doing out there, I'll post something and I'll make sure in the videos I'm well-spoken, I'm explaining it clearly and stuff like that. So then maybe the older generation of agents would see that and think, okay, I respect that. Like, he's out here trying.
Absolutely. I mean, it is sometimes hard to sort of pacify the older generation. But I suppose if you're doing it to a level where you are explaining it as clear as you can, then they can't really say much about that because they know, and you know, that you're doing it to the best of your ability.
Well, a lot of agents that are older have actually been really supportive from various different agencies that have helped out. A couple ex-pro footballers who are now in the agencies as well. I've spoken to them and stuff like that. They're always there if I need help. There's only been one agent who I really didn't like. There was one older one. I won't say his name.
No, don't say his name.
That lead us on to a point.
But what was that whole situation with him?
I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what he said, but it was a phone call. I can't remember what he said, but he said something about why do I speak so confidently to him? As in, he was like, do you know who I am? Why you shouldn't speak so confidently when you're speaking to me. And I was obviously apologising, like, I'm sorry, I'm just getting my point across. Maybe I am confident. I don't know. I don't think he liked a confident person who was like 30 years younger than him or something.
That's very common.
It's a familiar story.
Yeah.
It is, I've had that before. So that leads me on to the point of agencies and their like rivalry towards each other. Is that a thing?
What do you mean?
So we've had agents on the podcast before, and not to say that there's any beef between any of you guys, but so if you look at another agent online or social media, you're obviously curious to see what they're about. Do you ever actively have a rivalry against other agents?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
No.
Maybe right at the top potentially.
I'd say right at the top.
Yeah, it's got to be right at the top.
Competing for the best players.
When there's hundreds of £1 million on the line.
But then that's when it gets a bit selfish.
Of course.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, I wouldn't say there's rivalries, no.
Okay. One thing I did want to ask, though, was obviously, unfortunately, you did fail the exam, but how much preparation and time did you have to set aside to study for it?
I dropped out of uni, I studied for about 5 months, and I failed by 1 mark.
Oh, my
really?
word.
1 mark?
So stingy.
What was it out of? Was there a set number?
Yeah, so it's multiple choice out of 20. It's an hour exam. You've got to get 15 out of 20 to pass. But
they give you an hour and a half to just...
No, an hour.
Oh, an hour? Just for 15 questions?
20, but you've got to get 15 right.
Right.
But they're really hard questions. Like, it's not about football at all. It's
really?
all about laws and legislations, the training compensation, different dual nationalities and stuff like that. And some of the questions, there might be 4 answers to pick from, and 3 of them could be right. So if you can only click 2...
Oh, yeah.
You're done. And I came out of the exam, and I thought I did absolutely awful. I rang my mentor, and I said, I absolutely effed it. I was awful. He goes, just see, because when I first done my exam, I thought I effed it as well, but I didn't. And then obviously I nearly passed by 1.
How long is the wait until you get the result?
That's what I was going to ask.
The first one was about 4 days, and the next one was about 8 days.
Can't you have your notes in the exam, or am I deluded?
Uh,
I've heard that, because obviously you can have your exam in any country, right? Any FIFA country. And I think it may have been a Belgian coach that I spoke to had his notes in his exam, and it was fine.
So you're allowed to print the document which you use. So it's about 1,000 pages of the FIFA laws and legislations of the agency stuff. So you can print different things off and write notes on there. But at the end of the day, that's not going to help you find the answer. Because it's all about what I realised the second time round, your own techniques to find the answer. So you know the search button in the, you know when you click on the document, click the search button. So say there's a question about, I don't know off the top of my head, let's say training compensation, category 2, something like that. You find the key words from the sentence and put it in, and then you just got to scroll through that. Because before the first time, the mistake I made, I took so many notes with me, writing everything. I couldn't find the answers.
Yeah.
Like the second, you got to just understand the technique. Obviously, you got to know what you're learning, what you're studying. But the main aspect is finding the right answer in the document. So I didn't even bother printing anything off the second time. I just used the document on the computer.
And did you find out your answers?
What
you
I
see
what
what
I
you
got
went
right?
I'm so confused because obviously
No,
right.
I have no idea what I got right. I don't even know what my score was.
Oh, really?
I just said you passed.
Yeah,
So
obviously the first time when I got 14,
Must
it
have-
showed
yeah.
the 6 incorrect answers.
Okay.
But this time round, no idea. But I was flying back from Morocco with my girlfriend the day I got the results. And I was panicking. I was waiting for, I think it was 3 o'clock. We were landing. I was refreshing my phone as we were landing. Got delayed till the next day at 1 o'clock or something. I'm like, shit.
That's the worst.
I'm going to
possible
Thorpe Park with my mates that day. So we're there. It got to 1 o'clock. Refreshing. Nothing. Like, right, we'll just go on a ride at about 2:30. On the ride going to Soar, I get the text. I open it and I pass. You know what? I wasn't even happy. I was just relieved.
Relief, yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, I've just passed it. It's been worth it.
And it was delayed by a day as well.
Yeah.
So that's
Probably a
not
day,
whole
about 3
of
hours.
stress.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
wow.
ride must have been good fun, right? After you
Oh,
passed.
it was.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
I straight away, I put on my LinkedIn, instead of intermediary, I can't say the name. Intermediary.
Intermediary.
There we
yeah.
go. I put FIFA licensed agent.
Yeah, I mean, I think we
I've
all
got
would
there.
do. We all would do that
Of
straight
course,
away.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And obviously the relief of that would have been amazing, as you mentioned, but then you are in that whole world, as we said at the start. So you are tumbling over your feet. Where do you actually begin? What's the first place that you start once you become licensed?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Before you get your license, what I'd recommend, getting your LinkedIn account, cleaning it up, making it look as professional as you can, connecting initially with other people that might be studying to get their license, people who maybe just got their license, as they're going to give you the time of day. The new people with license, they'll speak to you about how they studied for it, what they're doing now. Obviously, the people studying, you share exam techniques. Let's be real, if it's an established agent, are they going to bother speaking to someone who hasn't even got their license? They're like, oh, can you help me? No. The odd few, potentially. My mentor, for example, he did, and fair play to him for that. But I would say create your LinkedIn account, connect to people, connect with scouts, sporting directors, anyone you would need for future purpose. Don't bother messaging them yet. Don't introduce yourself because they don't care about who you are. It's just what you're bringing to them. So I'd say get as many connections as you can, and then once you pass, you have that foundation, that layer to then have these different connections. So when you're speaking to different players, you'll say, right, I have connections across here, for example, and stuff like that. But LinkedIn isn't all the final answer. A lot of the time it's who you know. If you have a good relationship with the club, you can bring a player there. Whereas, let's say you don't have a relationship with them, you've never done anything for them, they might not bother. They'll go to an agent which they're aware of and they know. So it's all about working under someone, I would say, initially. Working under someone who's known in the industry. There's very few people who start off with their own agency and are successful. For those people, literally fair play. I know someone who's just got a job with a huge agency and he started his own agency. And to that, I don't think he had a football background either. That's a very rare occasion where you would end up doing that. In England, it's so hard. There's so little amount of players compared to the agents. Then obviously the foreign market of agents try and come into England as well. That's the place to be. So it's so tough. It's really tough. So I would say if you're foreign, try and keep a league on lock in terms of, let's say you're from Albania or Romania or something. Just completely try and focus your time on that and get those players initially and see what you can do. And then maybe venture into England. Because if you come into England and you're not even from England, and you're kind of blindfolded of, there's so many people here, it's so tough doing it. Where do I even start with this?
Yeah.
So I would say working under someone.
If you're talking to Jamie or I, and we wanted to be obviously agents as well, would you suggest we stay in England or we go somewhere as quick as possible to a niche country to try and develop there?
What, to try and get players?
To try and get players, yeah.
That's the tough thing. Where are you going to get your connections from abroad?
Yeah.
Where are you going to find that? You'll have a local agent from there who's completely running the scene, and he's saying, who are these English boys that have just come over?
Yeah.
trying to do this. I would say if you're going to look for a league, potentially you try and work with someone maybe.
Okay.
What a lot of people do is something called brokering. So brokering is where you speak with an agent who has a player. So let's say you're the player, you're his agent, you're currently playing in Sweden. I have a connection in England that's interested in you. So I'd approach you and we'd get a mandate and agree a split on what we can agree for me to bring your player to England. And that's a mandate. So he's still going to be your player. Whatever you guys have agreed, you still take that. But I take 50% of whatever we've agreed, if it is a 50% split. So what a lot of people do is brokering. That's a way if you haven't got too many players yet and if you have a big reach of people.
Because everyone wins.
Yeah, exactly.
The agent wins.
You might not be able to take him to England, but I can. I've had many conversations with different agents about brokering different deals. It's definitely possible. Sometimes when it comes down to the contract, they're not too keen on actually signing it. It's more of a case of, bring him there and then we'll talk about it. You can't do that.
I'll think about it.
Everything's got to be written down for contracts.
Of course. With Brexit as well, I know that this is something that an agent has to know. Bringing a player out of England and also bringing a player into England, Brexit's made it harder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in what aspects? I know that so for example, I've always said that African footballers aren't brought to the world's attention. I think there's so many footballers across Africa, across Asia as well, that aren't coming to Europe, and maybe Brexit has made that harder.
Yeah, I would agree on that. But what something you could do is potentially take them to Scotland as a route, and then go from Scotland to England. It's easier in terms of Brexit for a player to go to Scotland.
I suppose African players wouldn't make too much of a difference, but like European players wanting to come.
There's a calculator you can find online. There's 2 different calculators to bring a player in, and if they have enough points, they can automatically qualify. If they're in the middle, it goes to a panel to see if the player can come. Then obviously if they don't qualify, they can't come. So you can probably find it online at some point. It's called GBE calculator, and it breaks down national team appearances, league appearances, minutes played, international, and it all adds up to this calculator to get this final number to see if they qualify to come to England. So I've had a few cases where we spoke about bringing a player to Scotland first and then moving them to England.
Yeah.
And that can happen over spending years in Scotland.
Or a case of, for example, a multi-owned club. So say
City on a few.
Yeah, so let's say Man City want a player, but they can't qualify to come to England. They could buy them and loan them elsewhere to get their points up and get GB points to actually be able to come.
That's a good idea because there are so many talented players in Asia and Africa.
So I don't think loan. It would be the other club would buy that player and they would go there initially, and then City would buy the player from there.
Makes sense.
I think we've seen that a few times in
we have.
now.
You probably have
nowadays.
Yeah,
so I think we definitely have.
Oh, there's got to be a few out there.
There are certain players who will be bought by Man City and bought by these clubs. They'll stay in South America for a season or two. Just to
Savinho, could that have been one when he was at Girona?
Perhaps. I mean, I think.
Oh, was he at Girona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Echeverri as well, who's City's player, but he stayed. Obviously,
that
he stayed
might not have been from GB. It might have been just a developer as a player. But hypothetically speaking, it could
would have helped.
But that's an example.
It could be.
Yeah.
I don't know if he qualified or not.
Yeah.
But let's say he didn't. Him going to Girona, he would have got the GB points to come to England.
Oh, wow.
On Football Manager, literally every podcast we seem to mention it. You've got an ESC.
Okay.
Do you know what that is or not?
Yeah.
So could you just describe to us what it is? Because when my player doesn't quite qualify on Football Manager, I get a bit disappointed.
That's what we were talking about just now. That's literally what it is.
Right, okay.
There's GBE, ESC, then eligible. So it goes to a panel. So if your player doesn't qualify, it's gone to a panel, it's gone to them speaking about it, and then they've decided no. I didn't realise it was that serious on Football Manager. Is there?
Yeah.
It's so
you
detailed,
get 4 spots per club.
Yeah, you get 4 spots you can use. Yeah.
So it's up to the people to decide if they're good enough. So it could just be, let's just say someone from Senegal who's never played any minutes in national team, from an academy, 21, 20 years old. You could potentially bring them to a club in the Premier League with an ESC.
I don't think he'd even qualify.
He wouldn't even qualify for that.
I don't think he would even qualify.
Wow. That's interesting.
What you'd most likely have to do is a multi-owned club would take him and get his points and then bring him. It all depends on the situation. It all depends on league appearances and stuff like that. But if it's like a player who's hasn't really played much in Senegal men's football, he hasn't played for the national team, I highly doubt he qualifies.
What's a team like Strasbourg, for example? Because obviously they got the links with Chelsea.
Yeah.
Is that an example, or is that still a little bit too far forward?
No, I suppose you could do that. It depends on the player and stuff like that.
Okay.
We're getting very technical. I want to know about Eastern Europe and your side of the game. As you mentioned before, you thought it may have been a bit easier, the agent game, before you got into it.
Much easier.
I've always said that players, especially who are English or anywhere around the world, Eastern Europe's a really good spot for footballers coming through, as well as Gibraltar, which people might laugh at me for.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
What, coming from Eastern Europe?
Yeah, going to Eastern Europe to develop your football.
I'm not really too clued up on Eastern Europe.
Okay.
It's more Cyprus. Is Cyprus Eastern Europe?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It counts as it, yeah.
It's got to be Eastern Europe.
Well, if you're talking about just Cyprus, I would say it's a good place because it's sunny 8 months of the year, let's say. The tax is lower. It's a slower paced life. But the football is still competitive. You're still competing. So I think the top 4 qualify for Europe. You've got to qualify in the preliminary rounds, but you can still qualify. And then whoever wins the cup can get into it as well. So there's an incentive. I think there's only 12 teams in the first division. And if 4 qualify, you're still fighting for that spot. So it's still competitive football. And if you're out there and you're playing Champions League, Europa League, Conference League football, you're going to get experience. You're in the spotlight for other clubs, other better clubs, for example, that would see you play and then bring you somewhere there in the middle and then potentially from there, England. So I've got a player out in Cyprus now. He just signed his first pro contract, which I think that was the most stressful 48 hours of my life doing that. He just signed for a club called Ethnikos Akna, and he's got a Romanian and English passport. And going back to the whole Brexit thing, he wouldn't have been able to go out there if he didn't have a European passport, because they would have had to get a visa for him and stuff like that. So he's playing with his Romanian nationality, but obviously the aim for him is to get to England, get back to England. So for him, it's just to develop, see what happens. We've already discussed with the club his pathway of what they want to do with him. It's a long-term goal, really, of bringing him back. So he's 19 now, so there's still enough time. He's top scorer for the under-19s at the moment, so he'll be in the squad for the team. He hasn't played a full game yet. I think the most he's played is 20 minutes for the first team. So they play on the Saturday, and then to keep fitness, he'll play in the 19s the next day. He scored 4 the other week in one game.
Really?
Wow. Yeah,
so he's a good player then,
yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
completely pissing it. I said, in the 19s level, just get as many goals as you can. Just stat pad the 19s. As long as people see you're the top scorer in the 19s by a lot, and you're still in the first team and around that, it's good. He made his debut against Paphos, who were the best team in Cyprus.
Wow. Club. They were in Europe. They were in Conference League last year, weren't
no,
they?
they're Champions League.
Yeah,
This season,
always-
this season.
Yeah, they're Champions League now.
Signed David Luiz as well.
Yeah, Oh, you said, did I sign him?
No, David Luiz. He's in.
Yeah, he's in Paphos,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got David Luiz, you got Ken Sema,
Wow.
Domingos
you know him,
Quina.
Queen played for Watford as well.
Yeah, the sporting director of Paphos is the old sporting director of Watford.
Right.
You probably wouldn't know Cristiano. He was former Watford sporting director for a few years. There's some sort of connection with Paphos and Watford. I don't know what it is, but there's some sort of connection.
It's good to see because I feel like it is on Ken Sema's level where he could be in the Championship or he could be
He doesn't start.
Champions League, but he's still in that environment,
Yeah.
right? Or it's the same as I saw a player who is in, I'm going to say step 5, got to move to Gibraltar, which is obviously you could potentially be Champions League, Conference League, whatever. But obviously there are players that aren't good enough to play in England, aren't good enough to play elsewhere, so they do go off to lesser leagues.
They do.
It's harder for English people now, though. Nowadays, it's much harder. If you've just got a British passport and you're not making it in England and you're trying to go abroad,
It does limit you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
it massively limits you.
Yeah.
And that probably will go on to at some point the conversation of the US scholarships, as I was out in Florida recently with a group of English guys. But if I'm fully English and I'm not making it in England and I'm playing in non-league, you're going to struggle going abroad. I get so many people messaging saying, I want to play in Spain or I want to play in Greece or something. It's not going to happen because to get a visa, they need to prove that you have work. They're not going to give you a job before they trial you, for example. So they can't give the visa. So it's just not going to work. If anyone has a dual passport or can get a dual passport, they need to get it. They need to get one.
You could, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could.
You
Yeah.
Gibraltar.
Irish.
Oh, Irish.
Yeah. Well, no, I suppose
You just
anyone.
like Gibraltar.
Yeah, no, because any of us could go to Gibraltar.
Really?
Because it's English. Gibraltar's English. So English players go over there, which you wouldn't think, right?
Well, you
And it-
wouldn't think so, but it's definitely something that's happened.
And it was the same.
What's the native language? It's Spanish, isn't it?
English.
No, it's English.
It's English.
Spain see it as theirs, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's 100%
They don't speak
ours.
Spanish in Gibraltar.
No, and if they actually, I think what it is it's a very broken mix between Spanish and English. So genuinely,
I think you're wrong, actually.
You're
No, I think it
100%
is.
sure
I think it
English
is.
people can play in Gibraltar?
Yeah.
And they can play for the national team?
They can, yeah.
If you're,
100%.
if you're there for 5 years, you're qualified to be Gibraltar, and you can
Yeah,
play for
that's
national
any country,
team.
yeah.
But you can happen there.
But their language is definitely a mix of the two.
Well, politicians out there speak English.
Yeah, but
I suppose. Okay, it makes sense.
Okay.
Because you go there, and obviously it is quite a small place, and you've got like Phoenix, you've got Nationwide, you've got all these English like places. It's just England, but it's hotter.
I've never been there before.
You might have to go. I've never been there. I'm just a big advocate for it.
Good to go, wouldn't it?
It would be, but women's football as well.
Yeah.
Are you interested in that side of the game more?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about it to really, like, get a women's player, for example. Like I watched the final the other month, a couple of months ago. We were at the darts. It was the darts final in Blackpool, and I was out by the betting shop watching the football. I'd still watch it. I'd still support them.
Yeah.
But I'm not interested where I'm going to dedicate my time to really watch it. I've got nothing against it. It's just it doesn't really interest me.
That's fair enough.
So obviously you would never say never, but it's not something that you'd obviously want to do.
What, get a women's player?
Because there's some
ideally, because some agents have mixed between both.
Yeah, but I don't know enough about women's football, and it's a whole new different connections. It's different sort of people you need to get. For me, I just want to focus on what I'm doing at the moment before I even consider getting into women's football as well.
Because the Under-17 Women's World Cup was out in South America somewhere, but it was really interesting to see because there's a few people that I know that were playing in that team.
In the Under-17s?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so some of them now actually play for Arsenal, but it's good to see because their team is so talented. And some of them would be with agents, but it's just so cool to see that you know how good these players are going to be. And Watford women as well are really... We spoke about this, right?
I swear they're not attached to the men's team, are they? They're not attached.
I think they're quite far apart,
yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm sure they're different owned.
Well, that was the case with Blackburn. Blackburn sold off their women's team. Haven't Everton sold off their women's team?
They might have done because they've now claimed full rights to Goodison Park. Because they were going to demolish it, but they've now said that that's going to be their home ground.
I'm gutted. They've moved to
Yeah, I know.
Dickinson.
I mean, look, Hill Dickinson's a lovely ground, but it's not Goodison Park.
It looks like Schalke Stadium.
Oh,
does it?
You ever seen Schalke's? It looks exactly like
I've
that.
seen
One
it.
I would have done, yeah.
Do you know what it is though? I feel like Goodison was never going to fall down, so they should have just stayed there until it
They
did.
should just renovate it. Just build it up.
Make it better,
Like they've done with Anfield. They're never going to knock Anfield down.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
Old Trafford, just renovate it. Don't get rid of Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Are they even building a new?
They are. They haven't started
I mean,
yet, but they're doing it.
There's rumours to do it, but knowing them, it would take years and years to get done, yeah.
So TikTok's obviously helped you big time, and we have still got to speak about scholarships, which we will do after. But what is the best part of TikTok that gets you the interaction with players, but also followers? Is it live stream? Is it?
I would say live stream. Because I feel like live stream, you can express yourself. Kind of like a podcast, I guess. You're speaking, they kind of see your personality, they can ask you questions. Whereas a video is very narrow-minded of you just watching the phone and seeing this person speak. They can be doing anything. They can literally have a script in front of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a podcast or a live, for example, you don't have that. It's just natural. You're just naturally speaking. So I feel like they kind of see your character, see if you have the charisma to really work with them or something like that.
Obviously, you mentioned Florida, and we're very interested to know. So just talk to us a bit about your time in Florida. Obviously, the whole experience of being in America, for one.
So I went out with a company called 219 Sports. So what they do is they help bring players from England and do a scholarship in America. So I'm not sure where to start really with it.
Yeah.
So the boys went out there. So they would pay for a package to come out to Florida. They get a package of other stuff as well, of one-on-one chats, etc., which no point getting into. But they're playing against 3 different teams. So the 3 teams they were playing against are pre-scholar. So obviously scholars 18 plus. These are ones before that. So they're also fighting for a place to get into the academy of the scholar setup. And obviously there's the VO cameras, which record all the games. It's sent out to hundreds of university scouts. By the way, there's university scouts, sporting directors, head of recruitment.
You said Mark Warburton's out there as well.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure that I heard his name for Florida. He's sporting director or something. I'm sure it's him.
That's mad.
Yeah,
It's definitely an ex-QPR manager, 100%. I think it was him.
He was at Brentford as well, but he definitely wasn't. He moved to QPR after Brentford around 2016-17, I think.
I could be wrong,
So
but I'm
it
sure
would
it's
make
him.
sense.
Well, you did say it was in recent times that he was in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, they told us, but I can't remember. I'm sure it is him. I don't want to definitely confirm it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played against different teams. So they were all teams that have played together. They studied together at what we call college. So they all know each other. These boys, they've only known each other before the first game, 24 hours. We got off a 15-hour flight. We had a game the next day before a training session, and they got battered. They lost 3-0. But what can you do? The boys had never played with each other. They're tired. And this was a good team we played against, so we lost. Then we had a training session. A couple of days later, we played a team. We won 5-0. Great score. After training session, the boys gelled together. Then after this, the final game. This is the toughest test yet. So a lot of these boys, they already have scholars set up for next year. It's just they're too young to play right now for that team. There's a lot of players going to Div 1, Div 2. It was a massive game. It was the boys from our side, their last chance to really show themselves out here. And they drew the game 0-0, which for them was a huge result. They didn't concede, and it was against the team who have been together for... College would start within 2 years, so about a year and a half they'd been together for, and they drew 0-0 against them. It was a great result, so they're really happy with that, and that's going to go on the VO, sent to hundreds of scouts, and all the scouts know this academy, as in that we played against, they're a top academy side. Everyone across America in the scholarship scene knows that, so seeing us compete against them was good. It was better us drawing 0-0 than it was beating that team 5-0.
And even
Wow.
3-0 wasn't a bad result, to be fair.
No.
I mean, that was the first game together.
That was the first
They'd
game.
have felt jet lagged most likely from the flight as well. And I think they would have.
No training session.
No training.
Are they
and
coming
it's the
from
very
all
next day.
corners of the country? Is that how
A
it
lot
works?
of them came from up north.
But they didn't know each other?
No, well, a couple of them did. So obviously you have the different football programs. There was a Carlisle one, and we had 5 boys that were on the Carlisle program. And while we were in Jacksonville, the Carlisle owners' headquarters are in Jacksonville. So we set up a meeting to go in, interact with the Piatek family. I think that's how you say his name, Piatek, something like that. And he spoke to the Carlisle boys. It was a great experience for him because it's, imagine as you as a Watford fan, you get to interact with the owners, whether you like them or not. Whether you like them or not. Okay, let's say you do, and you're asking the questions, and you can ask anything to him. He was such a nice guy, and he took time to go around to speak with every single person, even the ones that weren't the Carlisle boys. Like, what a guy he was. And he was going upstairs at 2 p.m. to watch the FA Youth Cup with the Carlisle.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So it shows you've got a multi-millionaire in America
Yeah.
still taking the time to watch the under-18s in the FA Youth Cup.
And that will mean a lot to those youth players as well.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
That will stick with them for a
100%.
while,
I don't know
yeah.
if they would know that or not, but he spends, I think, at least half his time in Carlisle.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he's not in America the whole time. But he was one of the nicest people in football I've ever spoken to, and it was great for the boys. So because the scholarship company I work with, they're licensed with the LFE, so they're part of the LFE board as a partnership. It would look good for the LFE as well that we mixed with the Carlisle owner, for example. But no, that was a really good experience. That was a good experience, and the boys got to be proud of themselves. They went out, they didn't know each other, they tried something different, going to a different country. Maybe not all of them will get scholarships, but a solid, decent amount will end up getting something in America.
For sure.
So you went out there as content and you got paid to go out there and you got taken out there.
So I went out there to do the TikTok, the social media and stuff, but obviously I have the player management sort of background. I have a coaching sort of background. I wasn't a coach. We had a coach already, but I was still in and around that scene. I would speak to the boys. I would help player manage and stuff like that. But the main job out there was the content. But obviously, I used my other characteristics to play a part in that as well.
I mean, that clearly helped because you hit, 2.3 million views in just 1 week?
Yeah,
So
they
that's quite a
gained,
milestone.
I think, 3,000 followers, 2.3 million views on the
I
account.
remember we mentioned that yesterday.
The account looks like a proper account now. Before it had 300 followers,
Oh, wow.
and now it's a proper.
Are they going to hire you full time?
I hope.
should
I'd
do, shouldn't
hope
they?
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
That'd be a good reward.
They have a women's one coming up in February, taking the girls out there for a showcase event, and then they have another one in California in April. So it'd be different people coming. Some of the boys from this trip might choose for another showcase on the next trip. There's a couple of them I think thinking of it, but it'd be a lot of new people.
That's interesting because, again, I know I'm going to mention it again, but Gibraltar, there's one team out there who are always having these showcase games in Spain, because obviously it's really close to Spain. So, and they get their report, whatever, but the players are paying to go out there with the hope to get signed on.
Yeah.
Simple as that, right?
It probably would be similar to that, yeah. But also with the scholarships, one thing I would stress as well, which is I didn't realise this until I went out there. So with a scholarship, the uni pays towards it. So something I've heard of a player's gone out there. So this is something for a lot of non-league players. If any non-league player ends up watching this, you're realistically not going to make it in England. You're going to be having a part-time job while playing football. Go to America and study. Let's say in England, how much is uni a year? I don't know how much, like 12 grand a year?
It's about 9 to 12 grand a year.
Yeah, about 12 grand a year, so 36 grand overall, which you've got to pay back. If you go out to the States, you're a good footballer, you have decent grades, you can easily get a scholarship, £3,000 a year, which will cover, obviously...
At least half of the first year's costs, right?
It would cover the whole first year, so it'd be £3
Yeah.
grand a year, for example, so it'd be 9 grand, and with that you have the education, your accommodation, potentially sometimes food. You train in world-class facilities with brilliant coaches.
The facilities out there are insane.
The facilities are unreal. We went to a stadium, 55,000. It was insane. And at the end of the day, you're trying to go pro out there, but if not, you leave a degree. You have a degree.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper getting it out there than it would be in England. So I would say if you're a good footballer and you have good grades, look into at least the opportunity, or just explore the opportunity of playing out there. It might be too expensive for you, or you might get a really good scholarship. If you start, for example, at the lower levels, you could be there a year and then move up to D2 football or D1 level. But the talent is really good out there. Wake Forest beat Brentford B team 4-0.
Wow.
And they beat Leicester 3-0.
Yeah, I was waiting for that because you were mentioning that, and it's quite something to go ahead and beat a Premier League
It's
academy.
an established club, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
They are.
for sure.
They're quality players out there. And we spoke to one of the coaches, and something he said, which is really true. We don't know about the players who make it from college football and go to like Spain or Italy or Sweden. How are we meant to know? All we know is Jack Harrison was the only successful player to come out of college football and had a career in England.
He's done very well for himself, though.
Yeah, but that's not true because there's a player, for example, now in La Liga who left college football, I think it was around a year ago, and he's playing in La Liga now.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the guy. I can't remember his name. It was when he told us. He was giving us different examples. So the opportunities are there. With staying in America, it's quite tough. Obviously, the visa situation and stuff like that. You might have to marry a girl out there to be able to stay out there.
It's true.
Think about it. If you're a good footballer, you want to make it pro, marry a girl out there, you might be able to stay. But no, there's definitely opportunities out there. And worst case, you play three years out there, world-class facilities, make friends, and you graduate. You graduate in something.
Why didn't we think of that before?
Yeah, well, we've still got plenty of time.
If I was good at football, I would 100% have done that. 100%.
But how good at football, though? Because we aren't obviously amazing.
Should we show you outside?
How good are you? How good would you say?
I play for a Sunday League team. It's nothing special.
No, probably not.
No.
So
how
realistically, anyone can get a scholarship. It just depends how much you've got to pay. So you might end up at the smallest sort of college and you're paying a lot to be out there. Because it depends how good you are and how academically smart you are. You're an asset to the university for them to give it to you. But then I know, for example, there's a boy if a boy comes from Africa, it might be a less privileged background, but he's really good at football. He speaks English. He has grades. The uni will help him out with that financially.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah. As we come into the last few questions, I wanted to talk about you were at Watford versus Spurs in the FA Youth Cup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And you were at Barnet as well, right?
Yeah.
So you're obviously in that realm of North London, Hertfordshire sort of ways. But I wanted to speak about the Youth Cup and why that was of importance to you. Were you watching specific players or was it just to go?
It's just interesting to go to be fair, just to see the different talent. There might be the odd few who might be without agents. There might be an agent there who you might meet. Because at the end of the day, it's the biggest youth cup there is in English football. Yeah. There's going to be big names in the crowd of different agents who you can connect with and stuff like that. With Barnet, I was watching some specific players. I think with Watford, it was more of a case of I knew a lot of the players from the previous youth era from maybe 3 years ago or so, and I supported them out there because I knew them personally. So it was more of a case of I'm local. I went to support them. If there was someone I saw I liked the look of, potentially look into them, connect different people in the crowd maybe. There's no specific reason, I would say. It's more to support just the local youth.
How would you go about contacting a Barnet player? Because I know Idris Khan is a very good player. So is that just a DM? Is that an email?
Yeah, a lot of the time now it's through social media, really. A lot of the time. But with a lot of these established men's players, they have agents. It might just be a case of their contracts expiring potentially and they're looking for a new agent. But it's very rare. If that is going to happen, a lot of the time a player has that lined up already.
What do you think about Idris Kanu?
Idris Kanu?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Conference League 2 sort of football.
He's a great player.
He gets played that position too much, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he keeps getting played. Is it right wing back?
And the left wing.
And left wing back, but he's a winger.
Is he?
And he keeps getting dropped down. But then not last season, the season prior, he was too good to be starting, but the gaffer wasn't starting him.
Yeah.
And then when they got promoted, obviously everyone's run onto the pitch. And I spoke to him and he was like, well, we just knew it was going to happen.
So, yeah.
He's just one of those players, isn't he?
He is,
the head of the academy is now Noel Williams.
Why do I know his name? Is that a singer?
Nah.
Noel Williams, a singer.
Noel Williams? No, I think there's...
Gifted Noel Williams. Quickly search him in case I've said his name wrong and we can clip that again.
Noel Williams?
Gifted Noel Williams.
Oh, I know who. He's a Watford player. Yeah, he's a Watford player.
Is he?
Yeah. No, he was, sorry, Watford women's manager. Yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think he's the head of the academy setup.
Okay.
We sounded so clueless then. We're going to have to clip that a little bit. You thought he was a singer. I had to question myself. You said Noel Gallagher.
I didn't even think it was I think it's the guy.
Yeah, we'll clip that. Definitely, that's the only part I need clipping.
Zaid, you're going to clip that? No, because there's someone is it Robbie Williams?
Well, yeah, that's very.
He's a singer.
He's a singer.
Yeah.
Angels, yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
The new scholars that have come in at Barnet are some good players.
Really?
There were some good players they've managed to get. I think the Barnet set up Scholar Academy this year will be decent. There's a couple of decent names that's just gone there.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to ask you actually, what was the score in that Spurs-Watford game? Was it 4-2 Watford?
That rings a bell.
If you can remember, because I don't think we won it.
Yeah, Tottenham got 2 players sent off.
We did. I thought we did.
I think it was 4-2, I think.
4-2, I think it was.
That rings a bell.
Yes.
Yeah. They had a good cup run, to be fair. They lost to City in the semis.
Yeah. I think we have got
good.
quite a good young youth team, though, to be fair. There's some good players in there.
Yeah, you do.
Like, obviously, Luke Williams-Barnett, who's had minutes in the first team.
He's a really good player.
He's fantastic, yeah.
Well, Watford should have beaten Manchester City in the EFL Cup last year.
Yes.
But that referee, well, we won't speak about him. Cyprus, I'm going to read this off here. The president of the Cyprus Football Association announced that the top tier is likely plagued by match fixing.
Plagued?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I'm not commenting on that.
No?
Nah.
You don't think that the league is potentially iffy?
I don't know. I can't comment on it if I don't know.
What do you think?
What?
Because obviously with Romania, maybe not Romania, but there's countries out there, and I feel like we've seen with Marinakis, who's at Forest, there has been in Greece some sort of match fixing. So
there's been quite a lot about that.
It harms everyone. In match fixing in general, it harms the players, it harms the club without them realising it.
Yeah,
agents and this reputation of the league.
And there was that one issue actually. I don't know if I'm not sure who we spoke to a bit about, but Marinakis was obviously coming up against the club, and he threatened at half time if you win the game, then repercussions will happen. And then the next day,
was there proof of that?
Yeah, no. There's been reports on it. Their family bakery was found absolutely destroyed, like smashed up and everything. So there has been official cases of that sort of stuff happening with him.
Football's a moneymaker at the end of the day, right?
Well, it is, yeah.
I wanted lastly. Yeah, well, I know. Well, the thing is, I was even doing a report of Chelsea earlier and found some iffy things there as well. But lastly on Chelsea, I wanted to mention is let's just finalise on this season. You just beat Tottenham, 1-0. Am I right in saying Maresca said that was one of the most important wins of the season?
Well, for them it always is, because when they play us, it's their biggest game of the season. You always do, yeah. No, I know that. But the thing for you is you didn't play amazingly well, but we made you look like an unbelievable side.
You didn't press.
We didn't press. We didn't have any desire to win. The only time I saw any passion was when Romero came on. But every pass you made was easy. It's like you were running rings around us, and I think your team on average is younger than ours as well. They said it's men v boys, but you were the men and we were the boys.
Would you say Caicedo is the best defensive midfielder in the world?
I think he is. I think he's better than Declan Rice. He's miles better than Declan Rice.
Better than Rodri?
Rodri's past it now, yeah.
You think he's done?
He's done.
He shouldn't be past it, but he is.
He shouldn't be, but he's shown that when he comes back from injury, he can't cope, he can't recover properly.
Yeah, that's true.
He was on for 33 minutes and he's picked up the same thing again.
I'm disappointed in Lavia. Obviously linked with Liverpool and signed for 45 million, was it? Gone to Chelsea and he's just been...
I would sell him.
Is he injured?
He's always injured. No, he's not injured now. He's come back from injury, No.
Well, luckily Liverpool weren't after him, because it was at that time that we wanted Caicedo. It was at that time we wanted Lavia, and there was someone else, but I'm forgetting who. That was 3 I'm sure we were after.
There were probably.
Are you disappointed with Chelsea's recruitment?
Some of the aspects, yeah.
To know that you spent £2 billion in some sort of timeline, or whatever, it was £2 billion, right? And to know that you have spent money on players that perhaps aren't going to get you over the line in the Premier League. If you had £2 billion in front of you, as one of those directors over a set amount of years, you wouldn't have gone for those lower league players.
No, but then you look at players like when Cucurella first signed, when Caicedo first signed, there's multiple players you think, they're terrible, why do we spend that much money? They're world-class players now.
Yeah.
But I suppose when you sign all the 40 players...
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know, the recruitment hasn't been great. But in terms of money, one thing I have thought recently, why does it matter how much they spend? It's not coming out of our pocket. It's not affecting us. It's their problem. If they're wasting their money...
Or the club,
let them waste their money.
It's true, but then it was also like to sort of counter that. That's money that you could have spent more wisely on other players.
I know the point. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I suppose that's all part and parcel of football.
But Chelsea need a striker. What striker is out there that they'd sign? Who is there? With the money they've got, let's say they've got 100 mil, who are they going to sign?
Richarlison.
He's going back to Everton, surely.
Yeah, I think he is, yeah.
Really?
He's got a big desire to go back.
Oh, wow.
For years.
He's never worked out with us, unfortunately.
No.
So
I know a boy who was in the Everton away end last season and posted a video of Richarlison saying, like, come home. He reposted the video.
Did he?
No way.
Yeah, he reposted the video.
Who is out in the football world £100 million? You're obviously not going to want a striker that's 29, 28 at push.
I think we should have gone in for Isak. We'd have been able to afford him.
You can take him. I think he's been bitterly disappointing. You think he's going to work out? You think they're all going to work out? The thing is with Liverpool this season, we haven't bought unknown players. I suppose like what Chelsea have done. We've gone out and bought Isak. We've gone out and bought
Ekitike.
Yeah,
it's tricky having Ekitike and Isak.
That's the issue.
Play?
We didn't. I bet you any money Liverpool didn't expect to sign Isak.
I agree with that.
It was close to deadline day.
I agree with that. I think they signed Ekitike as a backup. And they signed Isak, and they had the opportunity to sign him. Like, oh, well, we've got 2 of these world-class strikers now. What do we do? I wouldn't want Gyökeres.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want Gyökeres either.
There's not really too many names.
Like
Lukaku.
He's not going to come back.
He's 33 now, isn't he?
Kane would never go to Chelsea.
No.
But you would take him, I imagine, right? Yeah.
Wow, there's so many.
You can't give me a striker that Chelsea can sign. There isn't.
No.
There isn't one.
There's got to be one.
I mean, there's be one out there, I think.
You'd venture out and you'd get another player who people don't really know, and then you're going to say, oh, I don't know who that player is. They've signed no one. Well, if you can't tell me you're a striker they should sign, then who are they going to go for?
What about for England in the World Cup next year? We're there.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the lack of press, and maybe for all of us, we like a high-intensity pressing team, and we like the team that works hard for the ball like Romero does do. But what I want to know next year in America is, have we got any chance?
No.
Really?
Nah.
Why?
I think we'll go out last 8. I just think when it comes down to it, there's just better teams.
Yeah.
On
There is.
paper, we're a better team, but I think there's just better teams. I watched the Brazil versus Argentina game a couple months ago, and the intensity of that and the aggression of both teams was insane.
They hate each other.
Playing against either of those teams, I don't think we'd win. I think Spain are a better team than us. I think we'd beat Portugal.
Are you happy that Tuchel's there, or would you prefer Southgate?
No, I prefer Tuchel. I'd take him. I'd take Tuchel.
I think France, Spain, Argentina, Brazil, they would all be...
I think we'd beat France.
I think we'd beat
You
France.
think we'd beat France?
Yeah,
Really?
I think
do.
we would. But I think we'll come up against one of those three teams I mentioned. We'll get done over by in the last 8.
Yeah, I could see it happening, yeah.
I think Tuchel's a one tournament guy. I think he's gone after this World Cup.
He was only on contract until then.
Yeah.
He's not signing another one. The thing is, it is Kane's last major tournament in a World Cup.
Unfortunately, it
In a
probably
World
will
Cup.
be, yeah.
Maybe the Euros he could push to.
That'll be the last, I think.
Yeah, but so what would be your ideal backline? Would you pick Maguire?
Ideal backline. I would have Konsa
Whoa,
and Gehi.
that's interesting.
Would you have
Constantine.
Jed Spence left back?
Lewis Hall if he's fit.
Oh wow,
Over Jed
this is
Spence.
really obscure.
Lewis Hall left back. Reece James right back.
Where does Trent go?
I don't start him.
Not even in midfield.
No. Tried Trent in midfield. It didn't work.
Yeah, that's true. Who would you have in midfield?
Bellingham. Palmer. Who's the other? Rice.
You would say Russ.
Okay.
Bellingham was disappointing on the Euros.
Bellingham
was
really
so
disappointing.
He's just a player you got to start though.
He is, but I've never seen the hype around him as much. I've always said Pedri is miles.
Who'd you start instead of Bellingham in the?
No. He starts for England, but I'm just saying that the sort of aura that he has, like he's got an ego, but he doesn't have the ego yet to play the way he does.
Jordan Henderson?
No.
He's been good this season, though.
Yeah, he has.
He's been
I
really,
wouldn't
really
start him.
good.
Skelly?
No.
Loftus-Cheek?
No.
Loftus-Cheek.
Elliot Anderson. I mean, these are names that have been
That's the
called
thing.
up.
You know, obviously you start Bellingham, you start Palmer.
I'll stick my three midfield.
That's solid midfield, and then up top,
Saka.
right?
You'd agree?
I think someone
Yeah,
else is
I'd
coming
agree.
in that we're not expecting.
Kane.
Okay.
Good.
I'll start Rashford.
I knew you'd say that. I knew
Would
you'd
you?
say
Okay.
Rashford.
I'll start
I
Rashford.
don't mind it. I mean, not Eze off the left.
Rashford's had a weird career.
I know.
How's he gone from being so good at 1920, dropping off, and now reaching the heights of
Well, then picking it
Barca?
back up again. Yeah.
See how he played against Villa?
Yeah.
For Barca?
It's mental.
I know.
But he went from Villa to Barca,
Yeah.
which is mad.
He did. Yeah.
Well, the last question I wanted to ask you was, in 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
In 5 years' time, I would like to be an established agent. I don't care about having multi-million amount of pounds. I would just like to be comfortable. I have a good life. I have a nice amount of players I look after, a good relationship with them, and just chilling while being successful, really.
And my last question is, I ask it to every guest we have on. I'm sure you know it by now.
Yeah.
Obviously, young you,
Yeah.
and you've done a whole host of things. You've done obviously the tourism, the packages, the agents. So would you be happy with what you've done so far?
Yeah, I would say so. I'll be happy with everything I've done. I wouldn't say there's anything I regret doing or anything like that.
Simple as that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we always end on here with a handshake. So the camera's there. So thank you very much, Andreas, for joining us. Appreciate it.
Nice to
Harry,
meet you.
nice to meet you too.
Jamie,
I thought we were going in
and
for a
Andreas.
three-way handshake.
Thank you very much.
And they're doing it as well. All good, lads, yeah? Amazing. Appreciate that.